Okay guys, g'day. How are we guys? Morning, good afternoon, and as always, very good evening. How are we? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another big week on the charts. It's been fantastic July, been a really good July. So far the best month of the year for me. Just having a look at the stats before. It's been a fantastic month. So looking to end it on a high note as well. Obviously this is the last trading week of July, so let's see what we can come up with throughout the week. G'day one and all. Hope you are doing well, as I mentioned before. And without further ado guys, let's get underway. Let's have a look at the charts, what we've got moving forward today. If you could smash the like button. Let's get a few people onto the stream. Not many right now. As you guys know, I do my best work when there's more on stream. Otherwise it makes for quite a boring stream itself. So make sure to say g'day, ask questions, keep me fired up guys. And anyway, let's get cracking. Let's have a look at GJ as per the usual to begin with. And what we can see is the previous weekly candle did close back a very strong bearish candle for lower high, lower low to the previous. So based off that, if price was to begin to break the low of that previous weekly candle, at that point there'd be a high probability we will continue to the downside. As far as a higher time frame target, we've got this resistance. We've not pulled back to retest since we've broken it around that 200.7, 200.6. So that could be a potential destination moving forward if price begins to break the low of that previous weekly candle's low. But that's reading a little bit too far into it. As you guys know, I don't really focus on that. I'm more focused about what we've got immediately, so I can try to secure my 10 plus pips. On to the daily time frame, and we can see that is also technically bullish. So bearish on the weekly, daily is bullish, but what we do have on the daily is counter probabilities to the downside. Open with a gap to the downside. So based off the counter probabilities itself, once again, based off the way the previous weekly candle closed as well, on a Monday, I like to trade in line with the strength and the direction of the previous weekly candle and the overall bias. So this rate, based off the higher time frames, there's a high probability I would be likely looking for sales moving forward into London session, into even pre-MY. On to the foil, what we can see is we're just in a bit of an area of consolidation near the support here on the foil. We are technically bearish in structure. We won't flip back bullish until we actually close above this swing point to the upside there, above that 205.80 roughly. I'm just going to mark in the most recent levels of resistance though, and we'll use that as a potential level that price could pull back to grab some liquidity from. Going to mark in that previous weekly candle's low as well for the time being, and we'll adjust it accordingly once we go down to the M30 time frame. So bearish on the foil below the previous weekly candle's low. We can see got really choppy traffic. That's really almost the beginning of that upward or the uptrend, which was a really slow trickle. If you guys remember, looked so easy on the higher time frame. The daily candles were printing bullish high lows, high highs, but within it there was some very choppy price action on the four hour M30. So that's what we're heading back into right now. So usually in that sort of situation, what I prefer to see is price make a nice clean move to cut through all of that crap to the left, then make a nice clean pullback, and then I start to trust that particular level below that the current previous weekly candle's low as a potential area to get involved in some clean trades. So we'll see. Anyway, on to the 30-minute what we've got. So we know we're technically bearish on the 4 hour, and we can see the 30-minute is, by the looks of it, it's bearish. Yeah, let's just create a lower low. So structure is going to flip back bullish. Instead of having to wait for it to break above and close above the highs at 204.30 where I took that sell from on Friday. I'm just going to drag this up now. It will now flip back bullish above this point here. I'm just going to mark in a resistance. It's not much of a zone. You don't really have a zone at all. It's a tricky one. I'm going to use that bearish candle open just to the left of it, and that will use that as my zone. We don't really have a zone there, so I'm just going to use that to give me some sort of area that price could pull back and reject, seeing that was when we did reject most recently within the current daily candle. We are creating an impulse to the downside. My issue with that is, where do we sell it? Right now you're at support, at some really strong support. It is, you could argue, a 4-hour level as well, so I would change that to grey. So as per yesterday when I did the webinar with the members, finding it difficult to find some clean areas on GJ to sell it within the current 4-hour range. However, what we do see is we're approaching, obviously we're bouncing into 4-hour support below the level here at 202.680. We've got some pretty clean traffic to the left all the way down to 202.30. However, seeing prices just come from the highest point of the daily candle. Let's just measure it in, and it's just literally dropped. Especially that last candle was a massive drop. Let's just measure it. So it's literally just dropped 80 pips in the last hour and a bit, maybe 2 hours. Last candle dropped almost 60 pips. So based off that, if I was to look for sell below this 202.680, or what I'm going to want to see is a little bit of a pullback at this point. I'm going to want to see some buyers triggered into the market, form a bit of support back at this previous level. And then as price begins to drop back below that point, 202.680, at that point I would look to take a sell option all the way back down to 202.30. Otherwise, what we're looking at on GJ is pullbacks. Where could we potentially pull back to? Well, market in horizontals, we've just broken out the support here at 203.15 roughly. Another support just a little bit higher up around that 203.230 as well. So they are potential levels that if price did pull back to, only to reject, I could look for an option to sell it back down. So that is likely going to be my game plan on GJ. Once again, I'm extremely rule based, so my rules at this point don't really give me any options to buy it, seeing it is the Monday. I'd rather look for the sells upon the pullback or upon support forming and price popping below that support around the current level at 202.680. So that's going to be what I'll be looking at on GJ moving forward. Yeah, not interested in the bias. I know it's at a strong level, but again, I'm just following my rules, so you guys do as you please. Hopefully that makes sense. And let's have a look at gold. So gold to me looks probably more tradable at this point, but anyway, nonetheless, let's do the analysis. I'm not interested in impulse entry at this point. On to the weekly. So previous weekly did close back bearish after spraying the all-time high, pushing deep into price discovery. We obviously rejected the final few days, closed the candle back week bearish. So that does suggest we've grabbed liquidity from the upside. We did close below the resistance, below the closures of the candles to the left. So based off that, if we begin to break the low of the previous weekly candle, high probability price will continue further to the downside. Looking at on the daily structure, nothing's changed. It's in itself, the structure is still bullish. So interesting though, we are approaching a previous level of resistance here to the left, which on the way up, you can see right here, we closed above it, pulled all the way back to retest it, only to begin to push away from that level. So below the previous weekly candles low, only got about 26 pips to be exact, back down to that previous resistance on the daily. So we'll keep it marked in. It could be a potential area that price could bounce off. So we haven't created a lower wick in the current daily candle. Let's mark that in as well. See what we've got below it. Structure wise, we are bullish, but counter probabilities based off that previous daily to the downside 4 hour. Also counter probabilities to the downside, we are at a strong level of support. So this whole level, you look here to the left, this wick lines up that previous resistance. So when we form support back above it, so it is a pretty tricky level that we're currently at on gold. Well, I can see it's breaking below the previous candle. Just going to mark in some support at that previous weekly candle's low. Going to mark in the most recent resistance, and we'll go down to the 30-minute time frame. So 30-minute, we just got the candle closing. All right. Well, anyway, it's got no upper wick, so forget it. Would not be interested in that. Just going to now adjust the zone a little bit to that point there. All right, so for me on gold, Let's see. So that resistance to the left hand side is 26 pips below the previous weekly candle, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, this point here. All right. So for me on gold, right now, I mean, if you're not in the trade, you probably need to wait for price to pull back. To be honest, it's approaching the support. It makes sense for it to drop without creating the upper wick, but I still don't trust it without the upper wick. It's just as per my rules once again. So the music's a little loud, is it? These two, excuse the language. I didn't realize. Sorry guys, I didn't realize it was so loud. That should be better. Yeah, so what I'll be looking at on gold is right now, just for the pullbacks, continuation sells. I don't really like at this point because below this support, I'm a little bit concerned by that resistance. If you are just to wait patiently for price to pop below at 23.91, it is a lot cleaner. You've got clean move up. You're trading within candle bodies over here to the left hand side, not the wicks. The wicks are zones where price could at any point reject and move in the opposite direction. So in all honesty, if it were me trading by myself, I'd probably just have that zone all the way down, just so I know not to trade into it, because this is a deterrent. If I see a gray zone, it means I can't trade. There's no point trading into it if we're close to it. It makes no sense because it could bounce off it. So all the sells, and that's what I rather do today, is just going to need to wait for pullbacks. So within the move, within the current daily candle, obviously we're yet to create a lower wick. We have created an upper wick. Now we have rejected also around the 50% that previous daily candle, which I did mark in. Not quite actually. You can eyeball it just now. It's obviously not quite. It's the previous weekly candle open. That was my focus. That's what I mentioned in an analysis video I just seen to the members group prior to the stream. It's rejected the open that previous weekly candle. What you often see is when we have liquidity candles like so, often a new candle doesn't need to pull back all that far into it for was to continue in the same direction of that liquidity candle. So what you'll find is often it'll pull back towards the open of it and then begin to reject, and that's what the weekly is so far doing on gold. So for the time being, I'd be waiting for pullbacks, looking for levels. We have, well, on the way back down, create a resistance. We've got 205 roughly, 2405.50 roughly. Prefer it to pull back up higher, to be honest, unless right now we make a nice clean move down. So the other option is this level here. I'm just going to mark in the higher level. Yeah, that's the better option at this point, around at 204.90. If price does pull back to reject that zone, that would be a level I would look for my catalyst within price action to take a sell back down. So sells below that point there, sells below current daily candle high. Now we're not yet flipping any structure above that level. I don't see the buys today. Again, if I'm to be true to the way I trade and follow my rules, I'm just going to need to wait for my sells to, if they do eventuate, and look for my catalyst to take an option. Maybe NY could provide us another option. Wow, GJ, look at that. Continuing to melt, not interested in it at all. Markets are moving, guys. Doesn't mean you always have to be in it, but yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. The analysis on both. So likely the focus will be on gold. Good thing is GJ right now, so it has made a move into this clean area. What I prefer to see it do right now is sustain the move, make a nice clean move down, then pull back to reject, and that's when I start to trust the sells. Once we've pulled back to grab some more liquidity, reject, I'd be looking for my calcs from price action back below that 202.680. GJ is absolutely melting. Alrighty, guys, welcome. James, good morning to you, brother. Carl F, morning. GGPM, good morning. John, morning to you, brother. So hopefully the music's better now. And Doc, morning to you. Not sure how that happened. to be honest. I didn't play with the settings at all. Music there now. Nice one. Michelle, good day to you, brother. How far did gold drop just then? Yeah, so it would have been enough to secure 16 pips. But again, as per my rules, no FOMO, no upper wick at all. This is the one chance where, well, one example where it's likely not to, but I still rather have some sort of upper wick before any entry. That liquidity candle closing near it slow, it's a good chance of just pop. That's the volume that we had left over from that candle. Pops straight down and pops up to create the upper wick. So normally in this scenario, if it started to break its own low again, I consider an entry. But the thing is, you're gonna have it's not gonna be worth it. You don't have much margin, and it's too low down in my opinion. Plus, stop loss is gonna be much wider than the target, so just need to chill for the time being. Mr. Phil, good morning to you. Alright, so I can remove that. See, on GJ right now, seeing we're broken out of this range. It's a 4-hour level. We pop down into another 4-hour level. If we were to continue bearish, probably have no need to pull back above and close back above that 202.80. Won't have the 4-hour break its own high. I'm just seeing what sort of catalyst we may have to look for a potential option at that point. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be breaking pretty much all my rules on a Monday, so not gonna do that. Alrighty, members, let me send you guys a link for those who want to join. Oh, look at GJ shitting the bed. What is going on? What is going on? The Bank of Japan coming out with something. Alright, so China Central Bank lowers standing lending facility rates by 10 basis points. Is that maybe having some sort of effect? Because look at this. What? Let's see. It's not the pound in general. So it's to do with yen strength. Let's have a look at UJ. Yeah. So it's obviously yen strength, unless there's something coming out of the Bank of Japan. But sometimes the market does this, and you're not in it, and there's not much you can do because there's no real confirmation to take any trade. I mean, it's released within the news, and things just go crazy. So not much we can do about it. Morning to you, James.
Morning, big man.
How are you?
Smashing it, thanks. You?
Fantastic. It's what you like to hear. All good?
Absolutely.
All good, mate. All good. Wow, look at that. Well, it's definitely sells only for GJ today.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Heaps of volume. So there has to be something coming out in news.
Yeah. Love to see it though.
Yeah, it's good because at least it opens up the traffic. So I don't mind this. Cuts through all that consolidation we're into prior to the drop. It's cut through to support, straight into the next support. So for me, it's good. I just look to see where we can pull back to potentially sell it again moving forward. Carl, that's me for today. Grab 50 pips, use the M15. Okay, yep. Not bad, but again, still for me, it's above support, so not really my cup of tea. But well done to you. Well done, mate, for executing upon your plan. Good work. Nice and easy, and that would have melted very quickly. Obviously it did, so. If you're looking for GU sells, that's incorrect. GU's bias is now to the downside, so on that previous weekly candle, the rejection very similar to gold. Obviously not at all-time highs though, but that big rejection. So yeah, I'd definitely be looking for continuation sells on GU. Similar to gold, approaching, you can put this up. Approaching a little bit of resistance there to the left hand side though, so once price begins to break below that previous daily / weekly low, you have an area of interest not too far to the downside, about 5 or 6 pips away. So it's one of those ones, if you start to look for trades below, I mean, there's a good chance that if price does close below it, it might be actually closing below that resistance, wherever it is, just here. There's a good chance it will end up closing below either way. But if not, there's a good chance you'll be entering below that point there, because you might get a nice strong closure below the previous weekly candle's low. They consolidate back between that previous resistance to the left hand side and the support that broke below that 129 flat level, and then as it starts to pop below that previous level to the left hand side, that previous resistance on the higher time frame, you got clean traffic to the left. It's a good chance it will continue to the downside. But in all honesty, guys, if it were me, I'd still look for the sell below that previous weekly candle's low. Prefer to see a closure. I prefer to see it break that previous weekly candle's low first of all, then pull back to retest it and reject and begin to pull away from it. And that's probably the point I would look to enter. There's GU. We're gonna look at PJ. Gold's breaking its own low again. All good. How often do you hear me say this, guys, when price or a candle has no upper wick, drop straight down, let it pull back to create a wick, then it's more probable, well, in my opinion, it's more probable as it breaks again. But in this case, it just dropped a little bit too far.
Yeah, it's actually good to see that happen.
Yeah, it's good to see it play out, but it's just the open of that candle just dropped too far for my liking.
Yeah.
Towards the support. So I mean, right now you'd have about 4 or 5 pips on the table, but again, it's too far gone. Cammy, you got any buys above for gold? No, I'm not looking at buys today for gold at the moment. I'm all about the sells on the Monday. Let's quickly look at Bitcoin. All right, so the previous weekly, look at that, back up near the resistance around the all-time high yet again. Not sure if it's off the back of the news with presidential elections and that with US. So obviously Biden's also pulled out of the race apparently. So good luck to them. But I think Trump's pretty much got in the back, which is good for trading, in all honesty. We've got Bitcoin. So the previous weekly candle, very strong bullish candle. Let's just mark in a 50% of that candle. Let's see if it lines up with any area of previous support resistance. That price potentially could pull back to grab some liquidity from the market, form a support above, and that could possibly be the lowest point for the new weekly candle. And that's where we could look for buys from a pullback. Now, obviously, buys above the current weekly candle's high. It has now broken the high of the previous, has higher low, higher high. So it looks like it broke and he's now pulling back. So if it is to continue bearish, and it doesn't mean it won't do it later in the week, but I mean throughout today, then there is no need, seeing it has created the upper wick to pull back and break it. If it does, there's a high probability price will come up to the next resistance around at 69,640. That's just based off the weekly time frame. Looking at it on the daily, so structure wise we do remain bullish still from this big impulse from that 50k all the way up to the all-time high. We can see we flipped the micro trend back in line with the structure itself at a level of resistance here to the left, but based off the momentum and the strength of that previous weekly candle, if price was to begin to break the current daily candle's high yet again, still would think that 69,640 be a pretty likely destination that price will pull up to next. We have previously on yesterday's candle pulled back to a level that we had broken, rejected, closed back up near the high. So once again, this is, to me, is just looking like really good option for buyers at this stage. Just a matter of where. Got a mark in the support in the 4 hour. Price is also, or structure is bullish. We're creating some high lows, higher highs. Just formed a resistance. So let's see what we've got to the left of it. Pretty clean traffic by the looks of it to the left, all the way up to that level I mentioned, 69.60. So I'll be marking the resistance at that point there. So for me, based off the 4 hour, there's the 50% of that previous weekly candle. Based off the 4 hour, if we were to remain above 66.50, form support, be a good option to buy it back up towards the, take it back up towards the current daily candle's high. And obviously buys above the current daily candle's high, I can mark that in just now. That would also be valid. Let's just mark it in. Buys from support, let's mark that in. And we'll see what we do have on the M30. Alright, so the M30 will remain bullish as well. So the same level as the 4 hour. So I'd be all about the buys, in all honesty, on Bitcoin today. But yes, it's form support, I understand, and if it breaks it, I mean, it's a good chance it made a reasonable move to the upside. It's a good chance it could come back down, make a clean move back, but it's in a really strong uptrend. My concern would be, and I've mentioned this many times and it's been proven correct, I've often had a look at it with the members, when we're in a strong uptrend and price pulls back, doesn't always have to make the clean move all the way back down. Sometimes you can just pull back to create a high low and it starts trading to the upside again. So I'd be all about the buys on Bitcoin as well today. So I'd just be waiting for support to form. I'd look to the left to see where we potentially could do so. We're currently at a level of resistance to the left previously. So that would be one level. Got another level here on that 67.40 level. If the price did pull back to it, form a support, I'd also look for my colors in the 30 minutes, look for a buy. And then I'll probably target another level here if price did drop below it. And at 67k lines up with the psychological round number. Pretty much draw that all the way down. So I'd just be looking for levels to price to pull back to buy it. Otherwise, buys above the high. That's what I've been looking at on Bitcoin for Monday. And let's get back to GJ's. GJ's still melting. All good. Gold is... So gold would have worked. Alright. Nonetheless, good to see. Good to see it play out. The issue for me was the stop loss would have been, I think, around 40 plus pips for about a 25 pip target, which is enough to secure. Remember, guys, this candle was... Let's see if we can actually find it. That was the open. So you would have had accounting for spread at 40 pips stop loss. Accounting for spread to downside, the entry would be a bit lower down, for a maximum of about 23-24 pips. Probably not the best idea on a Monday, but is what it is. All good. Had a good session, the members and I, sim session yesterday. Whatever, what, I think we had about 3 or 4 entries. Is there anything else broken? What's that?
The daily and the weekly on GJ looks so nice. It's just a shame that move up to the left-hand side below where we are now was so slow. Like,
yeah, it does look really nice, doesn't it? But all that
below 202 is just such a mess on the left.
Yeah.
I know it's come too far. I wouldn't want to trade it below that resistance, below that support right now. But when it does come, it's still not going to be that easy.
No, it's good to see nonetheless anyway. But just is what it is. Like you said, unfortunately it's a slow trickle up, so there's no clean traffic whatsoever. Could have rejected at any point. There's some news, obviously be some news. Let's have a look at financial news. If anything is breaking. Unless it was the Chinese news. It could be off the back of that. So otherwise there's nothing mentioned.
I also prefer trading GJ with when it's got a 1 in front of it rather than a 2.
Oh really?
Just purely psychologically.
It's one of those psychological, nuances that we all have. It's like me when it comes to a certain pattern within price action, I prefer it to sell it rather than buy it. I think I mentioned it yesterday, didn't I? Something about
I
think it was when it leaves a big upper wick or whatever at support. I just don't see it the same way as I see it if it leaves a big upper wick at resistance on that same bullish candle, if you know what I mean. So we've got to travel quite a distance to break the bullish candle low. The downside I'm not so fussed about, but to the upside, to break a bearish candle with a long wick, I don't know what it is.
It's a gravity thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. In all honesty, if I flip the chart upside down, you can do it, can't you? There's a thing here somewhere. There's something you can do. There's some option. You can flip the chart on its head. I can't remember how to do it, but yeah. It's funny that, because all last year, my journal, I actually had a better win rate when I was buying. Not by much, but it was better. With a pretty equal amount of trades, to be honest, as well. I think I had a few more sells than buys.
Yeah, I actually prefer the buys for some reason.
Oh really?
I think it's because I started when I started trading. It's when the beginning of 2020.
GJ was breakouts.
130 something,
Yeah.
Over the last 4 years, I know it's been different each week, but it's generally just trended higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, true. I know what you mean. So you sort of come to charts thinking it's going to continue to go higher and higher, so therefore it makes sense to look for buys. I don't know what it also could be something to do with investments, because I'm always looking for, as stupid as it sounds, I'm always looking for my investments to drop so I can buy in at a cheaper level. I'm just all about selling. It's the same with silver right now. I'm loving the fact that it's pulled back. Got a few more ounces over the weekend. So
you're still buying every 2 weeks?
Yeah, actually, well, off late it's been every weekend. So I just wait for the weekly close and buy a couple of ounces usually. Nothing major. It's not, it's not expensive. Just DCA.
There are far worse things you could be buying a couple of ounces of every weekend.
Yeah, it's 100%, isn't it? Probably wouldn't be here right now streaming if I had bought any of those things as well. So be far away from a stream, that's for sure. Well, yeah, I think it could be right, Franco, Bank of Japan working in the background, because this is just a massive drop. There's not much you can do about it. Guys, if any of the members are around, we'll be about for an educational session later as well. So last week it was AA, this week we're taking other stuff. Oh man, no wonder why my stream doesn't come up when you search live Forex trading.
Reputation.
YouTube's listening in. They're like, what is this guy showing an example of? It's definitely not a good one, whatever it is. It's supposed to be a trading stream, but he's talking about dealing and taking drugs and drinking and trying to sober up. Still not a drink. I won't have a drink until I go back to Thailand. So that'll be more than 5 months by the time I get there, which is good.
Yeah, I stayed strong on Saturday night. I was pleased.
You didn't drink?
Yeah, I didn't drink. And you wake up in the morning, you just feel absolutely fine. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. At the moment, you think, oh, probably could have a few. You kind of want to relax and enjoy, but then next day you feel all the more better for not drinking.
Yeah, it's so worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
GJ's not just going to keep going, is it? Surely.
Could well do, but I don't mind it, to be honest, because it's just going to cut through all this shit. That whole really slow trickle up.
Yeah, true.
So that's the one good thing when price makes nice clean moves, it just opens up the ranges again. Carl, no stream.
You're going to have a no trade day, Monday's the best one.
It will, 100%, Monday and Fridays. Carl, if no Forex stream gives life advice like this one. Well, at least you guys can learn something. I don't think if we can't take a trade, well, not saying we can't, but just yet, at least you're learning something. Not just about Forex all the time. So. Talk about the gym. Speaking of, did a massive leg workout.
Oh man.
Smashed a leg workout. God, I was absolutely shaking after it as per usual. Some big boys at that body gym stacking the leg extensions, and that's always been a difficult one for me, but I'm actually a lot stronger now in the hammies, the quads. Not that, sorry, the hammies, that's the press. You know those two upright seated ones? I can't remember the name. One's the extension, what's the other one? For the hammies?
It's just, well, it's called leg curl in mine.
Yeah, leg curls, that's it.
Yeah.
The curls are a lot easier than the
press. So much easier.
Yeah, there's guys stacking both.
I've got mine is so weak.
Yeah, mine used to be. I used to be like 3 or 4 plates, and that was it. Right up near the top end. But now they're a lot stronger. Now I'm on the extension, about halfway down, and on the curl, almost not stacking it, but within like 4 or 5 plates of stacking it right now.
Yeah, that's impressive. Unfortunately, somehow my genes are such that I don't. It looks like I do legs, but my best's so weak, it's ridiculous.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I've been emphasizing growth in the legs, so I've been trying to really push, lift a bit heavier, and it's amazing because to be honest, I didn't think I could lift some of what I'm lifting to legs, but it's just a matter of putting the weight up and giving it a crack, psyching yourself. Nothing crazy, but
I don't do all the manly leg exercises. I follow the girls do all the Bulgarian split squats, RDLs.
There, mate. There's nothing wrong with those. I do them as well.
I love them.
I honestly, I did the
see guys squatting. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, no spots.
Yeah.
No, I did the split squat today, the Bulgarian split squat, and that they hurt, man. They're a killer.
If there's only one thing I could do, it'd be those for sure. It feels so good.
Yeah, I mean, you got the quad version, you got the glute version of it. As long as you're doing it right, though, you definitely feel it. Alright, should I let TikTok in?
Kyle, when are you join on the Zoom, man? I feel like we need a voice there as well.
Yep, that's it. What are we to do when the charts aren't really offering much? Not a lot. I would educate if someone had questions, but Kyle's got questions. Like Forex, how do I find a wife? Drink, medicine, training. What's next? Don't forget investment. Not that's investment advice, but don't forget what I mentioned about what I believe in, silver.
Yeah, I can't contribute on any of that.
I think you know what we used to know a bit about gold, didn't you? Back in the past.
Yeah. Different market altogether.
Totally different market. That was the paper gold market, wasn't it?
That was physical stuff.
Oh, physical. Oh, okay. Even better.
Different life, man. Different life.
Yeah, I can imagine. James is out with his spade and bucket.
Down by the river,
in the trenches. in the African heat. Some people actually do it for I'm not talking about there, but I saw some is it gold diggers, gold hunters, one of reality shows.
Oh really?
Yeah, anyway, they were following a couple who had literally packed up everything to move to some area in the US around some body of water, and that's all they do. Apparently they're pulling out about $1,000 worth of gold on the average week.
Really? That sounds like a lot. With just the two of them?
Yeah. So they're pretty much nomads.
An inefficient process. It's so much work.
I can imagine. An absolute shitload of work by the looks of it. But on a good week, they're pulling a couple K. So maybe that's what we should be doing, guys.
I don't know, I prefer watching while other people do it.
So why? GJ still on its way down. It's very simple on GJ. All about pullbacks to sell. That's all I'd be interested in.
Trading New York today?
Don't know if I'll really be trading New York, but I'll jump on for like a educational session. And if there's no questions, then we'll do some analysis and have a look. I'm not going to stay on for that long though, so up and about pretty early tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Tuesday's your big day, isn't it?
Yep. Tuesday's a massive day.
So this 4 hours still got 2.5 hours left. If GJ was to pull back up to 202.68 in the next hour and a half, and then form a resistance,
Yeah,
would
definitely consider
trading on this same 4 hour without a top wick put you off at that point?
No, not at all, because I'd just be seeing it as pulling back to a potential level of previous support, which should act as resistance if price was to continue down. So so long as it did that and provide a catalyst within price action at that particular level, I would definitely still look to take it.
What if it creates resistance somewhere in that?
Within here,
Yeah.
not as comfortable, because I'd be concerned that it could be just a little bit of a pause on the way up, could pull back to create high low, and then finally pull back to tap into that level, go to 680. Yeah, so I'd probably ignore it. Because any pullback, if it does pull back to a level, previous support, for instance, in this case, if it was to continue down, obviously it should reject it. So if it had not pulled back that far, then we haven't yet retested it to see if it will hold. So could just literally form that resistance, high low, high, then tap in, then reject, and that's where the entry could have been. In the meantime, probably would have been stopped out on an earlier sell based off of resistance forming halfway in. So I'll be more focused on the actual levels itself, personally.
Yeah.
One thing at the gym that you really, in my opinion, you have to try and lift a little bit heavier on just to force some growth is the calves. One thing has been a struggle, but they're finally, I'm starting to see some decent growth. Because I was always under the impression of the calves that it was more about repetition. But I've found since I've started to lower the reps and go up quite a lot the weight, it's made a massive difference.
So there's something, they just feel so nice to do.
Yeah, that's a really good pain, honestly.
Yeah, agreed.
The quads are the worst, man. Oh.
Yeah, well, any leg press. I just
yeah, pain is excruciating. I was doing the hack squat and you get to like last few reps and you're literally, they're shaking. Like it's to the point where you think, fuck, I'm about to break the machine or something, or I'm about to break my back because I can't get the bloody lever up. I understand why people have spotters, sorry, on the hack squat and all that. Have you seen like those gym fail videos?
Yeah, I hate watching them.
Oh
so
mate, sends shivers down the spine. Because some of them end up in fatalities.
I don't watch them because then I think about them whilst I'm doing that exercise, and it just puts me.
The machine just, gives way. But some it's easily avoided had they had spotters in the right, first of all, sit in the right position. As soon as your neck leans forward and you lose control, there it goes. You're in serious trouble.
Yeah. If I ever squat, I squat with weights under my heel.
Yeah.
And go super light and just go super light, super deep.
Yeah, I'm not, to be honest, I don't like having, even the hack squat machine I use, it's how do you describe it? It doesn't have like a shoulder guard over it or whatever that you hold on to. It's just like you sit your ass sort of on it and it's on an angle and you push off it. It's like, it looks like it's missing the top half of it basically.
I was going to say that sounds totally different from.
It's good. It's got side handles at the bottom, so you can still grip onto something. But I prefer that because I don't like having something on my shoulders. Like I get marks on it from it too.
Yeah, that is annoying. You get that bruise on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Even when it doesn't feel that heavy.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that is annoying.
I just don't like
from
having
an aesthetic perspective.
Yeah, exactly. If you're wearing a singlet or something, you got an issue with a virus or something, everyone's gonna stay away from you, especially the ladies. Yeah, I don't like having weight over my shoulders. So to be honest, I avoid squats most of the time. If I do it, I use the Smith machine, and I've got the what is it, like the
pad on. Yeah.
Not the pad, but also the spring, so in case I lose control it can't completely drop and I can't snap my neck or anything. Yeah, but I try not to be honest. I've even got a little phobia of the leg press because of the gym fail videos, but I still use it sometimes.
Have you seen the preacher curl one?
The preacher curl machine?
Yeah, right at the bottom of just with an easy bar, and at the bottom of his rack, when his arms are almost straight, one of his biceps just cramps up.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Don't search.
No, I'm not going. Have you seen is it Callum von Moga or whatever, the Aussie bodybuilder who's supposed to be next to Arnie?
Oh yeah, he tore his bicep.
Yeah, lifting
and his lat.
Yeah, doing a bicep bar curl.
Yeah.
With the mate, trying to lift some ridiculous weight.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I've seen the thing. There's a documentary about him somewhere.
Yeah, that guy, man. Ooh, he's had a roller coaster of life, especially the last few years. Jumped out of a bloody window of a bedroom when he was high, I think. Thinking someone was chasing him. Broke nearly almost everybody in his body, and he's survived, and he's back training, I think.
There's an advert for not doing drugs.
Yeah. Will to Wise, GA. Back to what we're here for. Does based off the 30, it looks nice. Let's quickly have a look at the analysis weekly. Yeah. far as candle probability does look good. It's at a level here to the left, or resistance, so could potentially reject, but the momentum is to the upside. The daily also at a level of resistance here to the left, but once again you're forming a really strong bullish candle. It's broken above the most recent resistance, which was that previous weekly candle high. 4 hour trending nicely to the upside as well. Yeah, definitely everything looks good to the upside. 4 hour probably got a bit of margin up until 194, roughly 194.50. 30-minute is also bullish. It definitely looks good for buy options. Yeah, I'd definitely be on the side of the buys. What I'd be looking for right now is a bullish engulfing candle. Yep, pretty clean move back to the upside. So if it were me, because it's kind of consolidating right now, so I wouldn't take an impulse and look at it now. It's rejecting. Broke the high of that bearish candle, the resistance, and it's now rejecting. So reason just goes to show, and why I wouldn't take that impulse entry. Also the fact that it was against a strong bearish candle. Would never take an impulse sell, buy, sorry, after a strong bearish candle. So I'd be just simply waiting for a closure above that bearish candle high in the next 12.5 minutes or so, and that would be a catalyst for me to buy it if I was trading GA. Otherwise I'd be looking for buys upon a pullback. You've got levels here, so around that 193.550 and 193.20. I know, man. Is anyone else in gold? Sorry, GJ sells other than our mate Carl? Sorry, TikTok, I forgot you guys were there. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Feel free to ask questions too, you guys in the TikTok chat. Alright, so Bitcoin has dropped down to one level of support. Let's see how it reacts to it. Still more than 11 minutes left of this candle. Bullish engulfing M15. Probably the only way I consider any sort of buy at London Open on Bitcoin.
How many likes does the stream have on your?
27.
So mine still shows 2.
Oh really? Yeah, it's strange. It doesn't. I don't know why. Sometimes there's an update.
Yeah.
Be pretty
Like,
depressing.
That can't be right. 35 people watching and 2.
Yeah, even that changes every second as well. But that's obviously people jumping on and off, hopping from stream to stream,
looking for a trade.
Yeah, those would look. I understand. To be honest, we've all done it. We've all done it in the past. So, I reckon probably about 90% of us here Probably search to begin with Forex, free Forex signals or Forex signals, something like that on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's what I did about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So look, I understand. And to be honest, I was thinking about it the other day. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing that the viewers aren't really going up that much, live stream viewers, but considering the amount of subs I have compared to a lot of the others, because I'm one of the newer streams, obviously, I think I'm faring pretty well.
I also reckon your ratio will be quite good for like converting free to paid.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's hard to get people into a paid group, whereas we've got how many VIP now?
About 16, I think, will include myself.
Yeah, that's not easy to do that part. I don't think.
No,
because free stuff is so easy, whereas for people to actually see the value in it is.
Yeah. And I mean, with all the content you get, plus we're on a live call basically every day. We weren't this Saturday. I was the first live call not been on with the members since I started, but I made it up on Sunday with the sim session into the webinar rolling into a sim session. So there's always something going on.
We ended up being on for about 2 hours.
Yeah, yesterday they ended up going for combined about 2 hours. So we put in the work, 100% we put in the work. Plus all the video content, to me it's a no-brainer. I paid a lot more in every other group I've been involved than what I charge. So I was a little bit disappointed when someone made a comment it was too expensive. Because there is, I understand, people, it's not for everyone. Some people don't trade the same way I do and they're not really interested in lean. I thought I'd give it a go and see, but they're not so interested in the way I trade. That's all right. But someone else has said it's too expensive, which I actually do not believe, considering all the work that goes into it, all the content you get as well, and all the live calls, and yeah, it's no way is it too expensive. If anything, it's undervalued. Xpiro, g'day to you, mate. Welcome, hope you're well. Alright, so GJ keeps melting, so the next potential level for it to pull back to is around at 250. Previous support which is broken. Now broken a lot of the previous weekly counter as well. So we have counter probabilities on the weekly to downside. So again, today I'd be all about sell options, waiting for pullbacks, grab some more liquidity at previous zones. So far I've got 202 to 202.3 roughly, and above that around at 202.680, around 80, 202.80 for potential sales below. Xpiro, GJ melting to start the week, definitely is not in any of it, but that's all good. I think 2400 is a really key psychological level on gold as well. Mentioned last week on NAS, I think below 20k. Again, that's also a psychological level. It did start to close below on the weekly high time frame, and there is a good chance to make a deeper correction. So it's done that. So in my opinion, NAS, if it breaks, especially if it breaks low of that previous weekly candle, there's going to be good options to sell it. quickly look at it actually. So you got previous weekly closing back. It's a really strong catalyst. So it's a really strong bearish candle. Not only that's closed below the most recent support on that time frame, the weekly time frame. So there's a high probability of creating up a wick. Could reject around that 19,760 support here to the left. If it does, it needs to break its own low, break below the previous weekly candle's low. We got some really clean traffic to the left hand side for continuation to the downside. Daily looks really good for another drop if it begins to break that previous weekly candle's low yet again. Did bounce off the support. No catalyst yet to buy it. So if it were me, I'd be looking for a daily candle close back bullish if you've got no structure flipping. Quickly, daily structure still is technically bullish and will remain bullish as long as it remains above the level it's bounced off, really, that 1950. So you got weekly strong bearish, daily bullish in structure, but with counter probabilities to the downside. 4 hour is bearish in structure. And look at that, really clean to the left below that previous weekly candle's low. So I just mark in that whole level. Mark in the resistance around that 19,821. That is a destination that could be met if prices to pull back, create up a wick or reject. So I'd be looking for options to sell it from, definitely from that level. You can see it's a strong level of liquidity to the left. So if it did pull back to reject it, I'd be looking for my sells, take it back down. That could be potentially the highest point of the new weekly. And further sells below the previous weekly candle's low. Now in between, got this level just here, which I'm about to mark in. 19,687 to 19,718 roughly. You can argue it is 4 hour level, previous support, form resistance. So I would say so long as it remains below there and rejects, I'd still trust it to be potentially the highest point of the new weekly. It doesn't have to be, it can still pull up higher, but I trust it to look for a sell from that level. And if it bursts through it, I'd be looking for the sells from higher up. Would not be interested in buying it today. I'd be waiting for the candle to close, a daily candle to close back a strong bullish candle. It may even flip M30 structure at that point bullish, and that's when I start to consider the buys. The M30 structure won't flip bullish until really above this resistance. So I'll probably just use the whole level, 19,820. So until it does that, I'd rather just stick to the side of sells for me on NAS. All right, just over a minute until London Open. Let's see, GJ 15 minute is forming a support. Looks like a pretty strong bullish candle. There is no impulse entries. Xauusd, yep, the yen definitely does look like it's getting some strength. Will to wise, can I get an outlook on USD Mexican? You know what, let's wait for London Open and then I'll have a look for you. And gold.
Hey, good morning.
Franco, good morning to you, my friend. How are you?
Fine so far. So, and you?
All good, mate. All good.
You have had a good weekend?
Yeah, same as always. Busy one, but all good, mate. All good. So back for another week on the charts. How about you? What are you looking at?
Right now it's very difficult. So
yep.
I think on the open I will not find any entry.
Likewise.
Also not on gold. So I think we need to wait at least the next 30 minutes.
Yep. Just need to wait for some more data to print. So here's what it is. GJ's made a massive drop without any real pullback, 170 pips. Yeah, I'm not keen on selling it below low upon continuation. Always want to be comfortable in a trade. I will not be comfortable in that particular option, so nothing. And gold as well, it's just made a minor pullback, but it's selling it now. You'd be selling it into the support's just formed. 15 looks better than 30 just looks really choppy, long wicks all over the shop. So in my opinion, it's nothing on gold as well. How was the weekend, Franco?
Oh, the weekend was very nice. So we had hot weather here, over 31 degrees, and
Lucky you.
enjoying to get to go out at the evening. And yesterday we celebrate birthday in family. So yeah, very nice weekend. So
Your birthday or?
no, not mine. So
Okay.
it was for my aunt and for my uncle.
Oh, okay. Nice one.
Breaking it together, and yeah, so we was outside in the garden. So and the weather was fine. So yeah,
Nice one,
absolutely
mate.
nice yesterday. Thanks.
It's actually been a pleasant few days here. It's not so cold.
Yeah, correct.
So,
So
I mean, here in Melbourne for a change.
Pardon me?
No, I'm saying here in Melbourne, it's been actually, for winter, it's been, today I think it was like 17 degrees, which isn't too bad at all.
Yeah, so right now the summer is starting here, and also in the south of Europe, in Italy and Spain, they have 37
Wow.
and nearly 40 degrees in south of Spain. Yeah, very hot right now.
Nice one. The Olympics are starting this week too, aren't they? Not that I could care less, to be honest. I'm not going to watch any of it.
They started already.
Yeah, the only thing I'd watch is the basketball, but the timing's not really good, so I probably won't watch any of it. Wheel to wise, let me have a look at it. USD and Mexican. So you're gonna have fair few gaps no matter which broker you use, so just use this one. What we can see is the previous weekly did close back a strong bullish candle. They actually did have a high, but it looks a bit just. So high low, high to the candle beside that. Current candle has approached the high of the previous weekly and not broken it. Does break, it's a good chance it will continue to the upside. 1830 would be the target, in my opinion. So fair bit of margin by the looks of it. Let's just mark in the current daily low as well. But based off the strength of that previous weekly, for me, likely today I'd be all about the buy options daily. Structure wise, let's look at it. It is bullish in structure. We've also got the previous daily closing back that liquidity candle, but it did leave quite a decent upper wick. Once again, if we begin to break though that candle, it's also breaking the previous weekly candles high at the same time. So once again, high probability we will continue to the upside, and once again at 1830 looks to be a pretty good target. 4 hour, not as clean on the 4 hour. Structure wise, it is bullish as well. So by the looks of it, I'd be all about the buys today. That resistance lines up with this to the left, so I think it's a good level on the 4 hour. Tapped in, rejected. Above that, I'd probably be targeting around at 1817 as a potential level. 1817.60. The 30 minute is also bullish, so yeah, 100% I'd be about buying it today. And we can see above that resistance 18.10.796 to be exact, it is clean as well on the M30. So options, in my opinion, will be for buys above that level there if price was to start popping above it. So mark it in, buys above it. Otherwise I'd be looking for a pullback. So within the current daily, reform support obviously at the low, which lines up with support here to the left. So again, reform support at that level. So we've got that level there. Price could potentially pull back to around that 17.966 as a buy zone. Also on the way up, we've recently just formed support at this point here. I'll mark it in around that 18.02768. And I'd also consider buys from really confirmation support forming around that level within this blue zone. Basically I've just used the deeper zone, so really anywhere between 18.02768 and 18.00299 eyes above. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Never traded this pair at all. Wouldn't have thought it'd be the greatest for scalping because I assume the spreads would be quite wide, but it could be wrong. I don't know. Oh, good, man. All good. Thank you for the question. Guys, if anyone else wants me to look at any charts, let me know. Swing it? Okay, yep. Yeah, so I definitely think you're on the right side of it. Looking for buyers 100%. That's what I'd be looking at. All right, guys, I'll be back in a minute. Alrighty guys, apologies. What have I missed? Denny C, good day to you mate, hope you're well brother. Welcome. Cami, gold approaching bottom range, you placing any buys? No. Not interested in buying it. I have rules. One of those is on a Monday I trade in line with the strength of that previous weekly candle, in line for the bias itself, which is to the downside, and also in line for the strength of the previous daily candle, which is also very strong bearish. So for me, I'm all about looking for my sell options. Even if I was to look for a buy from this point, I'd have no callus whatsoever, because, or even if I did have a callus, sorry, I take that back, I have no clean area to be buying it into. It's just a choppy mess, this range, due to little volume right now. It's not trending, it's not creating any nice moves. So in this situation, when I have a choppy range like so, I need clean moves to cut through it. Now I can look for options to sell it from higher up, or come tomorrow if it bounces off this support yet again, and let's just say we close the current daily candle bullish, then I can start to look for the buys moving forward tomorrow. I don't have any of those sort of callus just yet, so just need to chill. BJ pulling back finally. Sorry Franco, if you don't mind, I'll have a look at this chart. Yeah, it's GU, so they're your sell options, sell zones. Nice one. Moving forward into Monday, so you're looking for the sells as well. Yeah.
I'm more focused on sales on GU.
Likewise, so I'll be looking at for GU.
So and if we are really broken up, then maybe buys.
Yeah, if it starts to flip some structure, the M30 will flip just below that blue zone you got marked in. But yeah, above it, yeah, Twin got some clean traffic either way, so it's likely to be more tomorrow. Like, I mean, it could, who knows, it could make a big move up, but at this rate, I don't see it happening today. But anything could happen.
Yeah, really.
And if it does do so, then potentially. But it could be a tomorrow job. This is our chart. So yeah, I had similar marked in pre-stream. So guys looking at very similar sort of, this is a bit tricky, GJ is a bit tricky, but yeah, similar analysis across the board. So in all honesty right now, I'd like to see GJ pull back towards 202 680, but can we get some sort of callus to sell it around this level? So what I'm seeing is we've tapped into what was the previous support and we're currently rejecting. So we've retested it, we're getting some buyers, at least we'll grab some more liquidity, and if we begin to break below, there is a good chance we'll continue down, but I don't have any callus just yet. Perhaps if this 30-minute closed week bullish, but the issue is you're gonna have a massive stop loss. I don't know if it's the best option, to be honest, moving forward on a Monday. Plus you're running straight into the 15-minute support. See where this candle closes. Still, it's after the fact 180 plus pip move, I think it was, so yeah, 170. what's Bitcoin doing? All right, so obviously didn't close bullish engulfing, so it's closed right at that level. All right, interesting. Formed a resistance at this level of previous resistance slash support to the left. So now what I would say is if it closed above it, back above that 67,430 roughly, that could be a potential area to look for a buy. But if it drops down just now, I mean, if it comes back down to 67k, you look for support around that level for possible entries as well. It was 4 weeks ago to this day where we last took a loss on the stream, and it was two losses in a row that day. I remember it distinctly. I remember because one of them was totally ignored the fact GJ tapped in the target prior to the entry. That was just an error. The other one was, I think it was a gold trade. I think it was a buy, which was totally valid, but just didn't work. Since then, I'm not taking a loss on the stream. I've only taken one loss away from the stream, and that was pre my Mondays back, I think it was. So been really in some really good form. So I'm not going to blow it on something that's less than perfect, because that's what really has been working, just waiting patiently for quality entries.
That's a pretty mad start, a month since last loss in the stream.
Yeah, really good, man. And it's not we haven't been trading. Of course, yeah, we have our streams where we don't always, get a position. But on some streams, we're taking 2 trades. I took 1 break even as well in between. But
I was going to say the average must be more than 1 a day.
It'd be roughly around 1 day, which is pretty good.
It feels like there are more days with 2 trades than there are with 1.
Yeah, there are quite a few days where I take 2 or call 2 on the stream. Also, because obviously I'm doing it my own way on the previous stream. Be a little bit careful how I did things. So I was even more conservative. Didn't trade near as much on that other stream as what I do here. So
yeah, that must be a nice feeling.
yeah, definitely. At the same time, I think the majority on the stream now appreciate the patience. I know some don't. Some just want trades, which is it's fair enough. I understand. But at the same time, I'm just gonna stick to doing what I do best. Because at the same time, I don't want to lose. I'm here to make some cash as well. So. Less than a month, guys. On the 20th of August, counting down every freaking second. Get back to the land of Thai. See my little man. And also the lady. Lovely lady.
I was looking at that over the weekend.
Oh yeah? What you come up with?
It's annoying. So I'd like to do Thai. I want to do a gym session together. But I also really want to go to Bali.
Book a flight. Doesn't take that long to book a flight, mate. That sounds like you're trying to make up an excuse.
No. I'm saying I'm definitely going to do one or the other.
Book a gym's book a flight or do it or go to the gym.
No, I'm saying I'm definitely going to come to either Bali or Thailand.
Oh, I thought you said you're contemplating if you should go to the gym or book a flight. I don't know where I got that from.
No, what I'm saying is I want to come to Thailand so we can do a gym session together.
All right.
But then
yeah.
I also really want to go to Bali, so I'm deciding trying to work out which one of the two. Obviously could do both, but
well, you probably could. It's probably about a 3 or 4 hour flight, I think, roughly, from Bali to Thailand.
It feels like it wouldn't be very far. And then you look at it, it's actually an absolute trek.
Well, from where you are, yeah, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's about a 14-hour flight.
No, I mean, like between the two, you think, if I'm going that way anyway, I can just pop across to Thailand or but
you're probably better off going to Bali first, which is a little bit further, and on your way back, stopping through Thailand.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment.
That's probably the better option. Yeah, like I said, I've never been in Bali, man, but obviously it's supposed to be ridiculously cheap, a lot cheaper than Thailand. Thailand now ranks, I think, out of Southeast Asia as the second most expensive country. Or Bangkok. It could be just, I might be mistaken. It could be Bangkok ranks as like the second most expensive city behind Singapore itself.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely the rural areas are still cheap.
Yeah, cheapish, but still it's a lot more expensive than what it used to be. I used to comfortably, where we are, which is not a rural area, it's a city itself, fairly big one. I used to comfortably be able to go out and grab a feed for like $1 and a beer for about the same, to be honest, or maybe $2, but not anymore. In all honesty, now it's still relatively cheap. Like you still get a beer in a pub or something, or a bar or whatever. All the local area, you'll get it a lot cheaper. If you go to the tourist areas, you'll be paying about around 5 Aussie dollars. So it's about £2.60, 70, something like that. In Bangkok, you'll be paying a lot more than that. Bangkok's like comparable to Melbourne. You're paying about $8 for a beer in most places. They have happy hours and that. So about £4.50 or something.
Yeah, it's still so cheap compared to the West, though, or Australia.
It is, especially if you're a single traveler. But if you got a missus in that and you want a decent night out, you're still up for a fair few dollars.
Also, I feel like flights have got cheaper over the last few months. Is that just me?
Look, I got a pretty cheap flight. That was through our local low-cost carrier, Jetstar, which is Qantas. But otherwise, Thai Airways. I usually fly Thai Airways, but that was a lot more expensive this time. That was about 30% more expensive than what I paid last year around the same time. So I suppose you can get lucky, just depends when you look. But I remember this time last year, booking literally around the same time to be there around the same time, and I paid less than $1,000 for a return. This time it was 1,300 was the cheapest I could find. Oh, just over 1,300 on through Tireways.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's a big increase. Gold, nothing at all. This is good on GJ. I like it. Pulling back deeper.
Yeah, agreed.
US oil at a level, not sure why I had that marked in, but it's obviously at that level, our level.
GJ looks good to come back up to 202.6768.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan.
This next 30 minutes you'd think should be another bullish candle.
Yeah, there's a good chance, high probability. It's closed back above a support. I don't know what you guys are probably thinking and why don't you buy it, but there's a few reasons. First of all, it's going to be a massive stop loss. Second of all, you're trading against the strength of that 4-hour candle and the daily candle. So ideally we want to pull back to 202.68 to try and sell it, but it may not necessarily do so. So rather than test the waters and try to take a cheeky counter trade entry when everything is to the downside, I'd rather let it actually create that move, grab that liquidity, form that resistance, and then trust a sell moving forward maybe later. By all means, it could work. I mean, no one has a crystal ball to know if it will, but I mean, in the past, I would have taken entries like that and all would have got burnt. But yes, it does look good to potentially come to retest that zone. We know there's a high probability at some point when you break one support, eventually it's going to pull back to retest it. It's not always necessarily the same day. Sometimes it's a candle later, sometimes it's a few candles later, sometimes it's a 4-hour candle later.
I also think with a trade like that, if you were to lose that, you kick yourself for taking it.
Oh, 100%.
Whereas trades we take, you think, I would still take that again if the same setup presented, so that's fine. 100%.
I would not be happy at all. So
yeah, I'd be quite lost though.
Holy shit, absolutely no volume. Let's have a look at the news throughout the week. What have we got tomorrow? Is that I got filters on?
It's nothing today.
So there's nothing tomorrow. That's unusual. That's first.
I think it's quite a Thursday, Friday.
Well, we've got Wednesday's a big day. Be mindful both the pound, euro, and US dollar. So you got all three. So that's good. Definitely going to be a big one on Wednesday. Thursday, GDP. So it's also massive for the US dollar. And then PCE later on Friday. So not a massive week, but there is, as per usual, there is some news about. Also, wait to see how potentially when NY session opens today, how the news over the weekend, how that may affect the US dollar in regards to Biden stepping down. So does that mean the interim president is it Kamala Harris or whatever? What's her name?
vice president of the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Yeah. So does that mean that she's now the interim president? I'm assuming.
No. Biden will go on until the end of.
But he's not. He's not staying as the candidate, though, is he? He's stepping aside.
Correct. So
okay.
He will not be the president the next time.
Kamala. Yeah, that's it. Kamala Harris. That's it. Yeah, so that potentially could have an effect on the US dollar. Alright guys, so this is just education stuff, not entering. But let's just say, so we're not just learning about drugs, alcohol, gym, Thailand, Bali, all that stuff. I'm actually going to teach you a bit of Forex just now. Let's just say that was a 4-hour support, that price was bouncing off. And we had another support, let's say it could be 30-minute, it could be a 4-hour level. Let's just say that was maybe a 30-minute support, change it to blue. Level of resistance is something that we may have fallen way down. What I'd be looking for right now, if that was to be the case, so if this was 4-hour support, bounced off, that was maybe 15-minute previous support to the left. If price paused, we took an entry, I think it was, could have been this time last week, I think it was. Very similar. Where we had price pop back above a previous support, we had a pause on the 15, closing a weak bearish candle, creating that minor resistance back above a support. So if that was to be the case, we wait for the next candle to create a low wick, and then I trust it take it up to that previous resistance. But it's not the case in this scenario, so I would not be taking it. But it's nonetheless free education. But we don't have that. It's yes, it's put up in a bit of a mess to the left. Let's have a look at it. Go back to 30. Yeah, so it's really not that clean at all, to be honest. Below 201.70, 720. I think it's a bit cleaner below that point. Yeah, so that's something I would normally look for, but not in this case. Trade gold, good day to you, my friend. Welcome. We need a Monday W. Yeah, it's always nice to have a Monday W. But quite frankly, we just need to wait for a decent opportunity. So, which I've not spotted just yet. GJ's melted, but there was no way for me to get involved. There was no confirmation. It's looking good. I like this. I like it, the fact it's pulling back. And gold is just not tradable at the moment. What I want is honestly for gold to melt. I really do, because silver will follow gold. Silver is more volatile, so it'll drop harder, which means again it's an investment of mine. So it means I can buy in lower, and I'd also consider maybe purchasing a bit of gold as well. Do have a little bit of gold, but not much. Nothing in comparison to the amount of silver.
Justin,
Yeah, mate.
maybe can you take a look on GU?
Of course.
Plan
Okay.
ahead
Yeah.
something. So for me, what I'm looking right now is to have a closure below the blue line.
Below this,
at the end.
below here.
Yeah. No, I think it was marked good. I think so.
Oh, okay. The original level. Yep.
Correct, this level, because at the end you see on the left side we have already this minor support.
Yep.
And then for sure on the upper side.
All
but
that.
if I close down to this, and then maybe I'm considering to have some cells then.
Yep. I think it's not a bad idea.
For sure, I think it's depending. Maybe it will be right now after this 30 minutes, or maybe after the other one 30 minutes. So
yeah,
before not closing below this resistance area, I will not take any cells.
Yeah, I agree.
For the moment.
So even if this candle closes strong bearish, maybe back near the low.
Yeah.
And maybe you get a pause on a 15-week bullish candle, long upper wick, and then sort of entry as it breaks it back into the range below. That also could be a decent option.
Correct.
Because at that point, at least you're gonna have a strong 30-minute candle closing back bearish. So I mean, if this 15-minute, sorry, we should rephrase that. This 15-minute candle closed strong bearish, then followed by that weak bullish pause back at the start of that zone. Still going to close the M30 quite a strong bearish candle. So then as you create a lower high, lower low, so the bearish closure on the 30, clean move up, there's a good chance to make a clean move back down towards the support again. So that to me would be a pretty solid entry.
Yeah. So I'm not concerned with the 50 time frame because there is a support there.
Yep.
I'm not concerned on the M50 time frame. I'm not so concerned about that.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks alright.
Do you only trade G?
Very, very often, yeah, James. So I'm more relying on this ForexVPS as GJ, for example. GJ I'm not trusting absolutely. So and sometimes I'm looking also for gold.
Oh yeah.
Nice one. GJ making a move back up. So this is good. This is what you want to see, because even if it doesn't eventuate within this 4-hour candle, as long as it does pull back, and even if it consolidates for a bit around that level, then I feel it'll be a really nice option moving forward for the sellers later on. Just having the patience to wait.
I almost prefer it's on the next 4 hour.
That's what to be honest.
And just because it feels
nice
to trading on a new 4 hour candle.
Yeah, no, it's one of those little things that doesn't really make a difference, but it just makes you feel a bit better about it. The thing is, there's only an hour and 20 minutes left in this 4 hour, so it kind of has to do it now if I was to trust it within this 4 hour candle. So this candle close happy into it, closing near its high, followed by that scenario where we just spoke about on GU, where you get like that pause, the 15, closing a M30 back weak, strong bearish back below that resistance. That would have to happen in the next two candles. So this candle's the tap in, close like so, and then the next 30-minute candle's going to close like so. So it will look on the 30-minute, for instance, like that. And then your answer is it obviously it breaks on in 49 minutes from now, roughly.
Make sure you screenshot those drawings so that when it happens, you can describe yourself as a prophet.
Be great if it did. So that's the type of thing I want to see. There's your open of the next 15 minutes on the new hourly. Strong bearish closure, even stronger, better, weak bullish, closing M30 bearish. There's your entry. So that's the story that I want to see unfold. And if
it's the A.C.T. Forex setup, isn't it?
The perfect setup, in all honesty. You hear me say it on every single freaking stream. You should all know it by now, to be honest. So if that was to be the case, then for sure, I consider taking it in the last 30-minute candles of 4 hour in anticipation that the 4 hour will still end up dropping a little bit, closing closer to its low. If it does reject that level and give me that confirmation, give us enough to get that 10 plus pips before the closure of the 4 hour. Otherwise, in all honesty, if this doesn't eventuate or doesn't play out like that, then I'd rather see this 4 hour candle close a strong candle. So doesn't necessarily have to close at its low, but I'd rather it close quite significantly below this previous support that's broken, 202.680, if that was to be the case. Then wait for the new 4 hour to open, try its upper wick, reject that level again, reject this support, previous support, and then as the new 4 hour creates its upper wick, that you get the confirmation of resistance forming. That's when I look for the sells from that level, if that makes sense. So I prefer it to actually happen on the next 4 hour, but it would still be valid if it actually played out as per what I just mentioned. And now the only other really cheeky entry, I'm not sure how I feel about on a Monday, but I'll consider it, is if the next candle just pops straight up without a lower wick into this zone. Probably marking a 50% because you don't have any real wick to target. Usually I'd be targeting a bearish candle wick or some consolidation, some wicks around consolidation within its zone. We don't really have it. So in this case, I'm just marking a 50%. And price tapped into that level without a lower wick, I'd consider it a cheeky market execution sell. Two of those trades last week and both were winners. Both were on stream as well.
As in 2 trades taken on stream for the week?
Last week was a trade a day on stream.
I was going to say, it felt like way more than that.
No, well, if you include last trade, which I still called it in the chat as the stream was firing up. That was unfortunate for you because your screen was frozen.
Yeah, but but that definitely counts because we'd all have taken that on the basis that we could see the charts properly.
Yeah, exactly. But I did call it. I did say I'm looking at sells if it closed bearish engulfing and creates an upper wick, and I said I'm entering and securing. But yeah, it was one a day last week.
So that was probably the best one in terms of just drop in the game.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Did you get 25 pips?
No, it was more. 42 was the end. It was literally, I had my TP at this support, the final TP, but obviously I secured partials along the way.
Imagine if you held the whole position 4-1.
Oh no, mate. That's like the next step. But again, if you were to go back through your trade history and that and see how many have actually gone to your final TP without pulling back to entry or even back to your stop loss, I mean, it wouldn't be that many. I percentage wise, I doubt it.
I actually reckon the strategy would not work as well if you tried to do it.
Yeah, nor do I, to be honest.
Those small wins add up, don't they? Those 10 pips.
They definitely do, especially if obviously if you got a high win rate. And if you do manage your losses a bit, obviously that makes a difference as well. Xander Berry, thoughts on gold? Sorry, I just saw that. Yes, I'm all about sells on gold, but the thing is, it's just consolidating. There's no clear direction in price action at the moment, so I'd rather it pull back to 24.09 roughly and look for rejection at that level to sell it. Sells below previous weekly counts low as well. Does make sense. But I'd be a little bit concerned about 23.91. There's the previous resistance to the left, so potentially we could bounce off it. So I'd be definitely managing to trade if it did tap into it. And below that level, it is a lot cleaner. Really nice traffic below that 23.91 for further options to sell it. So I'd definitely be all about the sells and gold. Oh. Cheers for all the likes, guys. 41, appreciate it. So if you haven't watched the recap video from yesterday, I suggest doing so. It was on that trade from Friday. To me, it's just a very simple signal within price action at a level that I want to get involved. I take it every single day of the week. Win, lose, or draw, I'd accept the result because I know more often than not it's going to be a winning trade either way. Heaps of volume, GJ, lots of volume. It's pulled back already almost 60 pips since form support, so even further from the lowest point. Up 76. It's on. Good day to you and welcome. Wait, see where his counter closes on GJ and we'll decide what to do, guys. Go for another 8.5 minutes. Sorry about that, I missed that comment. Have you done the big lap road trip? no idea what that is, to be honest. This I got a feeling could open up another can of worms. Big lap roacher. Wonder what that's in reference to. I know of a big loop, but I know of that in Thailand, unless that's what you meant. If that's what you mean, no, I've not done it. Quite an uneventful stream so far, guys. All good.
It was always going to be, wasn't it? When you came to the charts, when you come to the charts to see GJ just dropping
like that, yeah, you know.
Nothing happening at least for another 2 hours.
Yeah, usually. Until it pulls back.
Yeah.
They move.
And for a pullback to be proper, it's got to take an hour or so.
Yeah, a decent pullback. And you want it to be clean as well, not leave massive wicks.
Yeah.
In either direction. So this would be good if it actually does now close up near its higher. Last thing I want is for it to reject.
Yeah, agreed. Like even this, I'd rather you want it to be a bit stronger than this.
Yeah, exactly. Hidden. Good part. Having a problem opening train view. Anyone else having problems? Not for me, obviously. I don't know. Anyone else? I think they fixed all the data issues of the internet. Obviously, it did affect some brokers. This is better on JJ.
Yeah, the 5 minute looks like it's ready to go and tap in as well.
Yeah. High lows, high highs.
Because you want it to hit that 684, don't you?
Yeah. I really like for it to do so. Today's literally the last point that's broken on the way up anyway. Like obviously we've retested that level and burst straight through it. There is nothing in between, even on 15. but definitely it's not what I'd want to see price tap into. Carl, all good, man. No worries, mate. You have a good week then. Appreciate your support as always. Stay safe, and yeah, catch you then. Wow, so it's tapped in right now.
He's got some volume.
Yep, definitely. It's just hopped. How far? This 5-minute candle. Yeah, it's 20 pips in it so far, basically.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it's good, even if you're not in it. I like seeing how it's opened up all that crap to the left. Got a clean move now. That is a really strong candle. It's retraced pretty much half the move, almost, by the looks of it. How far does it need to travel to tap into 50% of the zone? At 8 pips, there is a shit ton of volume right now though. See how this candle opens. Oh, pop me straight up. Let's just see quickly. Oh, forget it, it's popped down. That cheeky little impulse entry, it's not valid, it's popped straight back down, so you get it.
Oh, whilst it works as well, I also like the other entry more.
Yeah, so do I, 100%. It's a lot stronger confirmation. Especially when you've got such a strong candle like the previous one, where you know the volume's there. It's just now a matter of whether this level is going to hold or not. But look at it now, wow. So these levels, that's why I want to see a retest of it, and now looks like a good potential reject. So yeah, the other entry is definitely still an option. So what you want to see for that is, like I mentioned before, strong bearish M15, weak bullish second M15, closing M30 strong bearish, and a last 4-hour candle of the last 30 minutes of the 4-hour. It could be your option to sell it. But these candles have massive volumes. So even that in itself would have got you more than 10 pips already.
On the 15-minute,
yeah,
would it matter to you that, say, I mean, it looks like it's going to be too strong to happen, but say you get the bullet, the bearish 15 minute and then the bullish support on the 15 minute.
Yeah.
Would it matter to you where that happens?
No, not really. As long as it
doesn't need to engulf, does it?
No, I'm not worried about that 15. That's what you're referring to. As long as this candle is a relatively strong one.
Yeah.
So I know, I mean, the chance of it being bearish engulfing this point, first of all, if it did that, it'd be no entry anyway, because you'd have no margin. Plus your stop loss would be huge.
I meant on the 15.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, I know what you mean, but I'm saying like your options, some not. So long as it closes strong bearish and doesn't necessarily need to engulf, but it's probably, well, it'd be highly likely if it was to close still a strong bearish candle, it's going to close very close to the low if it doesn't engulf either way.
Yeah.
So let's just quickly mark it in. So it's low of the 15. So if this 15-minute candle closed close to the low of that candle, and then you got that minor support form and enter in the following. Yeah, but it wouldn't worry me if it doesn't engulf on this candle, and then we have the support, because that candle doesn't confirm support, because the only candle will confirm support is the one that prints after the bearish candle, which confirms resistance. So until you have that, I wouldn't be concerned at all by that particular bullish candle. Wow, look at the volume. GJ is just tearing shreds right now. Heaps of volume. Alrighty guys, well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I've got to go make dinner and that before I start later with the members. But I'll definitely keep tabs on this, guys, in the VIP. I'll let you know what I think of it, because I will consider it personally. But it's pretty simple. What I'm looking for is very strong closure on this bearish candle. Last thing I want is for it to leave a long lower wick. That's just going to make it more difficult, because then if you get support forming, you're going to close a weak, very weak. If you close a bearish candle on the M30, it's going to be a very weak one. So as I mentioned before, strong bearish closure here on this M15, followed by that minor pause. On the next 15-minute candle, still going to close the M30, a strong bearish candle, and then as the 30-minute breaks low on the next candle, that should be red. Try it one last time, you guys get the picture. It should be red. Anyway, if it breaks the low, there's a good chance it will continue to the downside. So that's pretty much what I'd be looking for. Unless I kept the stream running in the background. That would make for a massive stream. Nah, forget it. I need to go make dinner, guys. Yeah, so that's what I'll be looking at. GJ, gold is just consolidating. Me, gold needs to wait for the pullback. Pullback 24.09 roughly, or 24.10. Rejection from those levels for a sell, and further sell options below the previous weekly candles low at this point, or the support. As long as it closes below that, the support just above the low, and then you're potentially looking for entries below the previous weekly candle, that would also suffice. But otherwise, just be patient with it. Yeah, I'd definitely be focused on GJ more so than gold. But if this candle flips and mucks about, and forget it, I think it's just best to wait for new 4 hour to open and see what happens with that. But yeah, keep an eye on GJ, guys, if it were me anyway. And that's about it. Otherwise, if you'd like to know more about any of the services, all that you can find down below. Don't forget, just quickly, you have until the end of this month if you want to take advantage of the special Foundation VIP membership. The link to that is down below with the code as well. So if you're interested, if you want to know more, let me know. I'll get back to you. Otherwise, guys, take care. Members, I will see you let you know what goes on with this when I'm considering it, and I'll see you guys otherwise probably around 10:30 a.m. roughly UK time. And yeah, until then, cheers. Catch you guys tomorrow, YouTube. 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. See you, mate. Bye, guys.